Hi guys. Well, it's Sunday the 6th of March. It's about 3 a.m. It's just gone that. And I thought I'd do a vlog. I didn't have anything better to do. I guess I'm awake because I decided to drink tonight. I had some vodka, and kind of within the hour after I'd kind of got a bit hyper, if you like, I just got a massive headache because of all the meds I'm not supposed to drink with. So I don't think I'll be doing that in a hurry unless I'm going to actually take enough to pass out and actually get some sleep. Saying that, I did go to the doctor's on Thursday and told him that I didn't think that my meds were doing their job, and he has given me sleeping tablets, which I did take on Thursday night, and he gave me stronger ones straight away instead of stepping up, so I had a lovely hangover type thing on Friday. So I think in the future I'll probably take only half of those. I'm allowed to use them up to 4 times a week, which is fine. I don't like my natural pattern of sleep being altered, really. Obviously, if I'm not getting any, I need to alter it, but like the level of sleep, I mean, I like being able to set my alarm for 6 o'clock and kind of dozing through till 7 while watching the telly, semi sleeping. Whereas, I was out for the count for about 6 hours on Thursday night, which, lovely as it was, I just really couldn't get up in the morning, and that's really not very convenient generally in my timetable, and I had to cancel my massage because I felt too ill to go into town. So that was a bit of a pain in the ass. What I've got written on my list here, including things I wanted to talk about, what I should have done actually before I started recording this is I should have just watched through my last one, my last vlog, because I can't remember what I said at all. I think I was in such a bad mood. I did just kind of ramble and rant a bit. I know in the past I've shown you some of my crystals. I just wanted to show you this one today. This is an Amazonite. This is a Chinese Amazonite, and it's kind of semi-transparent. It's greeny, pearly, creamy almost. It's beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous. And this is supposed to be for general musculoskeletal problems and muscle spasms. It's good for your lungs and lung infections, and it's also good for your ears. Don't know why, but I thought it ticked too many boxes to not have one in my collection. So this and my jade, which is specifically the only one I found that any literature that says it's specifically for chronic back pain even. So yeah, that is a particular favourite at the moment. I just carry them in my pocket. The ones that are for the heart chakra, I actually put them in my bra. I don't even notice there's so much room in my bra since I've lost weight. Who gives a toss? I do just shove them in there. I put them in my pocket. Obviously, I'm not weighing myself down an extra 3 kilos by putting every stone I have in every pocket and pouch I can find, because that would be silly. But I am, generally carrying them around with me, especially my lapis lazuli, my jade, and I'm planning on carrying this one around for a bit this week to see if it helps. The deadline for booking seats for my graduation is Monday the 7th, which is now kind of less than 24 hours away. This kind of lucky dip thing was opened about 6 weeks ago, and I didn't have the the foresight, if you like, the ability to look forward and actually picture myself there. So I couldn't bring myself to book tickets for my graduation, and I asked my mum if we could skip it, and she very firmly said no. So I ignored it for a while, and then when I saw her last week, she did kind of sit me down and say, look, it doesn't matter what happens, you know, we're going to go to your graduation ceremony, and either you're coming with us to support your friends because it's a good thing to do, or obviously we'll be there supporting you. So I've got the two definite seats and two lucky dip seats, and anyone that doesn't get a lucky dip seat then goes into a second kind of ballot thing where you can go and watch a projected like video of the graduation in one of our lecture theatres. So actually I think it's a good thing. There are 80 of us in our year, and we're sharing our graduation with the teaching faculty. So people who've done single year accelerated PGCEs to become teachers, we're doing it with them. Which is a shame really, because I think it would have been nice if it was just pharmacy, or at least a linked course that would guarantee people more seats. But unfortunately with the timings of graduations, it doesn't work like that. So so I've booked my 2 secure seats and 2 lucky dip seats. I texted my younger brother, Gregory, just to see if he, wanted to come. I was kind of expecting him to say, oh, if I've got nothing better to do, blah, blah, blah. This sweetheart just said yes, straight away, and then asked for the date afterwards. He didn't even ask for the date first, which I thought was delightful. That really made my day. And actually, since Gregory's gone to university and we barely see each other, we seem to be closer than we normally are. He rings me not often, but when he rings me, we're on the phone for an hour, hour and a half, and we just have loads and loads to talk about. He's got a new girlfriend called Rachel, who is delightful. They live together at Oxford Brookes, and she's just gorgeous. She came and spent quite a lot of time with us over Christmas, and obviously he's just really, really happy there, and I'm just really glad that university life has been so good to him, and he's really found, a niche and a group of friends that he wants to really spend time with so early on. And I really applaud him for being the kind of guy that does get on with people. Sorry, as we go on, I was just going to say, I got an email saying that because I've had 10,000 views of my video, mainly accelerated, not by my blog but by an old Nightwish video I did, I can now talk for over 15 minutes. So I'm obviously not going to make it too long, because I don't want you guys to switch off and think, oh my god, when is she going to shut up? Because I don't have that gorgeous sense of humour that Sandy and Holly Daisy Rose and Deb have, that I love watching and listening to, especially. I know I haven't mentioned some of you. Sorry. Anyway, back to what I was saying, which was about my brother, but I think that trail had kind of finished. Right, next thing on my list: using crutches and walking aids if you have chronic pain. I was, Sandy, I hope you don't mind me saying this. I was talking to Sandy the other day because she is basically holding my hand at the moment. I'm just having a bit of a stupid time at the moment, and she said that anything that kind of preserves you or helps you get on, you need to commit and do. And she was saying about how she uses a cane. We don't call them canes. If it isn't, it seems a very silly thing for me to say as an English person, a cane, because that makes me think of rulers over the backs of hands in schools. In my dad's time of being in school, when he used to get the ruler over the back of the hand, or the cane, which was a rod. Anyway, off topic. A walking stick, and I use crutches occasionally. When my hips are bad. I've used them this week because of how much pain I've been in, and for me to leave the house with my crutches takes a lot of arguing with myself anyway. It takes a lot of, I need to drum up some confidence when I'm feeling at my worst in order to be able to just carry on and get on with what I have to do while drawing attention to myself. Sometimes when I get to uni, I dump my crutches in one of the labs that I have, keypad access to, and I try to walk around as much as I can without them. Sometimes I just drop one of them, and I just try to kind of zip about on one. As I said on Tuesday, I've just realised recently that what I've been doing is trying to just get places extra quick, holding my breath and zipping down a corridor, and then taking a massive exhale at the end, and then stopping. It's not a great way to work. It's not a great way to walk. I've worked out. My body tension is massive, and there's not a lot of stamina there. So what I think the point I'm trying to make is that I find it very hard in order to use my crutches because I don't like the thought of me drawing attention to myself. But the flip side of that is everyone knows what state you're in if you're using your crutches or walking really badly. You get the seat on the bus. People ask you how you are. And it gets to that point, I think, where you need to establish what kind of relationship you have with people. Especially for me, members of staff at university, there are some people who don't know me at all or don't know me very well, and their first response is, "Oh, what have you done?" Assuming that because I'm using crutches as opposed to a wheelchair or anything that resembles a cane, if you like, or walking stick, that it's an injury, it's a short-term injury. And I find it really hard to just say, "Oh, I've got a bad back," because that sounds lame. So the answer I've given recently is I have a chronic pain disorder. Unfortunately, that seems to open up even more conversations, kind of, "Oh, have you tried this, that and the other," which we've talked about before generally in pain forums, and how difficult it is to hear what your neighbour's best friend grandson's pet had done that really helped his pain, and it's hard to stand there and then say, "Oh no, I've tried that," or "No, have you actually looked into how expensive it is? I can't afford it," or whatever it is. It can sometimes make it harder. So I think that's one of the main reasons why I let myself get run into the ground, is because I do everything in my power to prevent myself having to draw attention to the problems, so I don't really seek help early enough to prevent me getting worse. The other thing, you just need to establish whether when people ask, "How are you?" whether it's to be polite or because they really want to know. And unfortunately, I've had to deal with the different members of staff because I had to miss an exam to go to the hospital to see the urologist last week. So my head of pharmacy practice wanted to, she just kind of asked how it went. And she was very surprised to learn that, the back problem that came to light when I was in second year, because that was the first time I'd really revealed it, if you like. First time I couldn't deal with it to the point of needing to draw attention to it. She said, "Oh, you still have that problem?" I was like, "Yeah, I just managed to hide it really well, and unfortunately when I'm in this state I can't hide it." And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry, did you not want to talk about it?" And I'm like, "Well, you know what, when you are walking around on crutches, you can't not want to talk about it, otherwise you do just come across as a miserable sod." So she decided, I even said to her, "Are you asking to be polite or because you want to know?" She said, "Oh no, sir, I'm here for you, whatever." This woman, I don't really like her. This sounds terrible. Of every person that could have said to me, "Oh, I'm always here for you, I'm asking because I want to know and I want to help. I can't believe it was this woman who gives everyone so much grief and is so petty and is so disorganised and is generally not a nice person, is incredibly nice to me, which makes me feel even more guilty that maybe I've got her wrong, maybe that's not what she's really like, but I really don't know what to do. So I gave her the short story, and obviously it's not healthy in my mind to allocate blame to people or whatever, and so I'm trying to play down the excuse I used last year with, I had a botched fusion or whatever, and that's my reason for my pain. And I don't like saying that. It's not fair. Yeah, things didn't work out, but it was more because it must have been my decisions and how I dealt with things before. This was a well-known complication of fusion is nerve damage and secondary spondylolisthesis and strain put on different parts of your back because it has to adapt to being fused and it has to behave differently. So, these things happen. So I obviously need to find a new way of just doing the short answer. What's wrong? I have a chronic pain disorder. Saying that, very, very few people have understanding of what that is really, and a couple of people know people with fibromyalgia, and a couple of people know people with, diabetic neuropathy or post-operative nerve pain or whatever. But, the thing about chronic pain is that it is completely individual, and it's a pain in the arse. The other thing I found recently is because I've been working in the lab a lot, I've been fixed in a position either working at the computer or working on my machine that I'm using, is that I've had a lot of muscle spasms. Sorry, I'm contemplating just pausing the video, but I'm holding my Amazonite and I'm just hoping that the spasm's going to finish in a minute. I've been having a lot of spasms recently, so I've been having a few more nicotine fixes than I normally would. Now, I tend to think that if I keep it down to less than 15 cigarettes a week, I still get that kind of kick whenever I have a fag, which kind of, the nicotine helps relax my muscles a bit. Now, I know smoking's bad for me, funnily enough, but I am completely convinced, and even, my doctor is convinced, that I am going to die of something else way before I die from the 15 cigarette a week habit that I've had since I was 14. You know what? It's not something that really bothers me, to be honest. I'm probably going to, liver cirrhosis is going to get me from the mixture of meds and alcohol over the years, or I'm going to get a stomach ulcer or varices, or plenty of other things are going to kill me first, or complications of type 2 diabetes, because that's what runs in my family. I haven't got a lot of cancer in my family or anything like that. I am convinced that I am going to die of something else. So me smoking every now and again to get through the day and to help my muscle spasms is not something that I really want to think about. It's not something that bothers me. People telling me all the time, smoking's bad for you, you should put that out, and oh my goodness, it is such a source of annoyance. It's like they think I don't know. This is a conscious choice. I actually enjoy smoking and I do it because I want to, and it's none of their business. That little vent's out there. Just getting everything off my chest, and then maybe I might be able to go to sleep. I tried keeping a diary. I really, really tried, and I tried writing in things about myself. I tried writing in just things about other people, so it was kind of a track of the day as opposed to a thoughts diary. And everyone I see just tells me, keep a diary, it's really good for you. It'll help your mental health, it'll help you work out how much pain you're in, it'll help, treat everything else. But I find it so hard. I find it easier to say everything out loud, because even as I write things, I just feel, oh God, Sarah, you're writing bollocks, because you can see it again. Whereas at least if you say it, it's out there, it's gone, it's said. And I know I can watch it back on a blog if I wanted to, but it's very different. I just think it's very different. So my plan for this week is I'm having a urodynamic test on Wednesday, which is the catheters thing that measures the pressure in the bladder and the abdominal pressure if the bladder's not working properly. Got that on Wednesday afternoon. This week I'm just booked in a couple of days on the machines that I need, and I should be finished in the lab by the end of this week. I'm currently keeping a urine and water diary where I've got to fill in the volumes of every drink I take and measure how much urine I'm making. Now, be impressed, people. I nearly went the full 24 hours without chucking piss on myself. Yay! It was only about 45 minutes ago that I finally managed to chuck pee on myself, so all's well. Just bleaching the floor and bleaching myself, and it's great fun. So well done me. That jug's going in the bin, obviously, and I've been bleaching it every time, so it's already whiter than it was before when I started using it, just from repetitive gravy use, delays in washing it. The gravy stain soaks and soaks into plastic. It's cleaner than it's ever been. Sorry, just moving. Yeah, Jesus, this video is getting long. Right, I'm going to say one more thing and then I'm going to finish it off. I'm having an MRI the week after next, and I'm now currently looking to find a new spinal surgeon to look at the problem in my thoracic spine, which isn't good. I think it's another spondylolisthesis, but it doesn't matter what I think. Well, it does, but that's what I think it is, because I can feel it, my physio can feel it, and I remember what it felt like before. And I need an MRI, but because the surgeon that I'm looking to be with doesn't currently have an NHS list, and obviously I don't have health insurance because I have a prolonged condition, it looks like I'm going to be paying about £850 for an MRI and about £400 for the 2 consultations that I need. But I'm having an MRI for my urinary problem on the NHS, but it's only a lower spine MRI. Now, I'm thinking, shifty, if I could possibly ask the urologist if he could just add in a second film for the higher level of my spine, so I could take that to see the spinal surgeon and get a nifty 2-in-1 and save myself £850. Your thoughts would be greatly accepted. How can I say it without coming across as cheap or taking advantage? Anyway, that's just another thing that's on my mind. Another thing that's making me feel guilty is the fact that my parents are going through the phase now, following my lead, of let's throw money at the problem and maybe it'll go away. Yes, we're good at that in my family, is that we don't spend money very much at all, and then one of us gets sick and we just kind of, well, obviously that's the way it should be. I don't know why I'm saying that. That's the way it should be. Money shouldn't be wasted and squandered on things you don't need, and if you've got the savings, then your health is certainly something that you should be spending it on. But yeah, my family is very, very not tight. No, not tight at all. It's very, very sensible. But when it comes to private healthcare, and particularly my back, my parents do try and desperately to get rid of it all and just chuck money at it. So anyway, just some thoughts. God, that's nearly 24 minutes long. I don't know why you'd want to sit here and watch it for that long. I don't know why I've made it. Maybe I won't post it. I'll think about it overnight. Anyway, guys, if you have stayed with me to the end, you're mad, but I love you, and I'll talk to you soon, and I'll be commenting on your videos and Shremia, I love you, and I hope you get my package soon, alright baby? Okay, bye.